Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and we are going to be taking a break from looking at tier 10s and instead we are going to be taking a look at my favorite tier 6 battleship, the Fuso. And I have to say this battle is going to be a really good battle, especially as far as damage. I believe this is my highest damaging battle I've ever had in the Fuso. So let's take a look at the team. We are playing on New Dawn. We have a Rujo, Colorado, Queen Elizabeth, Fuso, Congo, Atlantic, 3 Clevelands, Duca de Asta, Königsberg, and a Nicholas on the enemy team. There is a Rujo, Hood, New Mexico, Fuso, New York, Congo, Indianapolis, 3 Clevelands, Douglas, Hatsuharu on the enemy team. So, as you may have noticed, there's quite a bit of battleships and cruisers, not so much as destroyers, and obviously there's only one CV in this battle. Honestly, to be frank, I feel sorry for the CVs and the destroyers, especially considering how many Clevelands there are in this battle. So this battle here is going to be insane. I promise you this is going to be absolutely insane. So the Fuso is, well, she can be a tricky ship. Some people love her, some people hate her. And if played correctly, she is actually a really fantastic ship. She does have the most amount of guns at a tier 6 with 12 total. Now this is obviously prior to any French battleships that might be coming out that might be able to put up a fight against the Fuso with the total amount of guns. And well, for the most part, the guns they're not the most accurate. I would almost say they're like a shotgun. And the Fuso, yes, has a really fantastic range at 21.8 kilometers at tier 6, which is just absolutely insane. She's not a long-range sniper, like many people kind of treat her, and like a particular Fuso in this battle. You will see understand this in just a little bit. So Congo selling broadside, 12 shots away. Well, let's see how things go. Now you can see the dispersion kind of goes all over. And that's kind of how it is with the Fuso for the most part. Her shells, once again, is kind of sporadic, but around 10 to, I would say, around 10 to 15 kilometers, I think this is where she's more powerful. Close range, yes, she's going to have a little bit difficult time getting your guns turned properly without showing a lot of broadside. But around this range, she's just extremely powerful. And here we're gonna almost giving our friendly teammate, and I probably should have also pointed out, we are division up with a couple of our clanmates, Pizza in the Cleveland and Sweet Potato in the Queen Elizabeth. And that last salvo we fired off against the Congo, we netted ourselves a Citadel. You're going to be seeing that quite a bit in this battle. There we go, another Citadel on this Cleveland. And things are starting to look good. Starting to look really nice. Now, I did mention that the Fuso is a battleship with really long-range guns. And you may have noticed that there was 12 shots incoming from the other side of the map, and that is going to be the enemy Fuso. We're going to see the enemy Fuso a little bit later, but at this time, the majority of the enemy team is starting to push out north of their cap. And look at this. This is just nearly perfect. This is kind of how you want to play the Fuso. Catching a enemy ship quite broadside, and especially at this range. And this island, I'm actually very surprised with it. Does a really fantastic job providing shots against the enemy team. Shots off against the Colorado. Let's see. Oh, we netted ourselves another Citadel on that Colorado. And things are looking fairly good at this moment. I will have to say, I was expecting a little bit more difficult battle. I don't mean to sound pompous at all, but it's quite true. I was expecting a little bit more from the enemy team. But they are starting to pull away. And you can see our team hasn't really pushed it out of our cap. We actually are kind of staying on our side. There is, granted, the enemy Hatsuharu that is starting to push against our own Nicholas. But Well, at the moment, our Nicholas is going to have a slight problem from the enemy CV. Looks like the CV is dropping torpedoes on our Nicholas as well as dive bombers. And I'm actually kind of curious how healthy he is. Oh, looks like he's still alive and kicking. Looks like he is currently combating against that Hatsuharu still, but should go invisible in a moment. And oh, looky there. There's another Citadel. Did I mention I had a really good game in this battle? For whatever reason, RNGesus was very lovingly nice to me, which is absurd because for the most part, RNGesus does not like me. For the most part, my shells tend to go where I don't want them to go, and things don't always work out for us whenever I take out my ships. But in this battle, things are looking nice. It does look like the Indianapolis. Look at this. We have 5 ships aiming at us, which is just absurd. But I think it's a good time to kind of try to maneuver away from that island and try to get in a better position. Because, well, we did have a enemy Congo on our broadside, and yes, the Congo, well, at times can be a little bit sporadic on its own. Shells can still citadel us, and that's the thing about the Fuso. Fuso's fantastic. If angled, she's fantastic, but her armor is just not as tanky. She's not as tanky as that New Mexico, who is selling broadside to us. Let's see how our shells go. That was only 6 shells out against that New Mexico. And overpen. Be nice if we got a Citadel. Nope, unfortunately it does not look like we got a Citadel on that New Mexico. But we do see the enemy CV pushing right into the middle of the map. What the hell? Oh my good lord. I have no idea why this enemy CV decided to push all the way out. I don't know if he was just oblivious, but yeah, there's another Citadel. 1 dead CV. And now we don't have to worry about any incoming planes. Yeah, I don't know. I actually completely forgot that happened. But that's so funny to go back and watch that again. Oh, wow. I wonder if he was oblivious to the fact of his location. I mean, why would you be oblivious? But who knows? Anyways, our team is in the lead. We have unfortunately lost our destroyer. They have not lost their Hatsu. But their Hatsu is going to, once again, have a slight difficulty whenever trying to push out. Now, I probably should have mentioned this, but maybe you guys noticed it as well. The friendly CV hasn't launched anything. He's been AFK this entire battle. So the enemy CV has had major control of the skies the entire section of this battle. And look at that dispersion, that random shell just decided to go right towards that de Grasse. And the de Grasse is a good ship. Should point out, it's a good tier 6 cruiser. A great example of French cruisers. Still takes damage, but unfortunately we only get overpens. And does have that tricky French cruiser armor that does allow it to get away with what it was doing. So that de Grasse is going to be around for a little bit longer. Hoping to get shots off on the Cleveland. These shells are not going to go over this island at all, which is unfortunate. So this Cleveland is going to get away. Or so I thought. Does go down to the Colorado. New Mexico opens up against us once again, is selling perfectly broadside. Back 3 guns open up. Let's see. Decent amount of damage. No Citadel. But I will take 8,000 gladly. Now we are sitting at 103,000. And I also should point out, this is a tier, essentially tier 7 battle, which the Fuso can handle. The Fuso will have a more difficult time, especially against tier 8s, especially against tier 8 battleships. Her AP just does not, or cannot, penetrate into some tier 8 battleships, especially at much longer range. Now this New Mexico really needs a paddling. Look at this, perfectly broadside. And I guess RNG just said you had enough citadels. You don't need it anymore. 5's enough. So we don't get that citadel on that New Mexico. New Mexico is slowly getting away. If only our shells were loaded just a teensy bit faster. New Mexico opens up against us. And yes, I was in a broadside position. But fortunately, we take no damage from, or very minimal amount of damage. And there we go. We got our second kill of the game. And things are looking actually rather bit nice. So this entire battle has, I mean, honestly, we are just now starting to move out of our own cap. That's the thing, is this entire battle has been essentially been fought within our own spawn area, which is just absolutely insane. There we go. Got a nice hit on that enemy New York. And I guess you could say I get a little greedy here. Because I am starting to push out. Our entire team is starting to push around the eastern side of our cap, trying to get shots off. And yeah, I will admit I got a little cocky here. We'll see how things go. Enemy Congo is showing a broadside. He is very low in health. 6 shots off against him, and I think this is actually one of those few times we've actually seen the enemy Fuso. Oh, look at that. 8,000 points of damage, only 2 shell hits. Unfortunately for us, we don't get the kill. Now, this Fuso on the enemy team, look at him. He's full health. Has not been in any position to actually fully assist his team at all. I mean, had this Fuso probably been a little bit more aggressive, he may have actually done quite a bit more damage to the enemy ships than what he has been. And unfortunately, we don't get that. Indianapolis was hoping he turned into our shells, but unfortunately for us, that is not the case. And fortunately for us, this Fuso is missing us quite a bit. New York selling slowly and broadside to us. First salvo misjudged his speed, and shells didn't really hit quite that hard, which is unfortunate. But things aren't done. We still have 3 more heals, and I think right here I should stop. I think if I could go back in time, I could tell myself to stop pushing forward. But once again, I get a little aggressive, and yeah, we'll see. Fortunately for us, that salvo right there missed us quite handedly. Took out the enemy New York, and this Fuso selling broadside to us. Oh, look at that high caliber, 10,000 points of damage, no citadel. But the enemy Fuso has finally, well, actually I don't think he's running camo, so I can't really say he lost a little bit paint from his paint job, but at least we got a decent hit on this enemy Fuso. Oh, looky there, there's a citadel. And looks like he does return the favor, or at the very least got a good penetration shots on us. Dispersion goes erratic. And yes, right now things are looking a bit tricky. This Indianapolis I would love to take out. He is the most major threat to me at the moment, especially with his HE spamming. And you can see the enemy team is almost constantly focusing on us. I believe we have 2 ships aiming at us at the moment. We get double fires on us, and this Fuso is extremely low on health. Can we finish him off before we go down? Because more than likely we are going to get focused down by the Indianapolis firing HE constantly towards us. Salvo off, get a fairly bad roll on that. And can we finish off this Fuso? Fuso opens up, and look at there's another citadel. And ooh, very, very low in health. We have another heal in about 3 seconds. Can we get that off? Oh, unfortunately we do not. But however, 179,821 points of damage is respectable, all considering. Now, I did mention this was probably my highest damaging game. Unfortunately, it is not. And unfortunately, in just a moment, I am going to lose connection, and I do not have the battle results So a fairly decent game, high damaging game, nice amount of citadels, 7 citadels, always very fantastic to see. And with that, we are going to go ahead and end off this episode of World of Warships. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zygen, so close to Kraken.